Hello and welcome to the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name is Gareth,
My name is Bruce.
and we talk about things we just don't know where they're gonna go. So I was telling Bruce, as much as my background is great. Bruce is now sitting on the left hand side, like an aristocrat, in the middle of his beautiful background that matches his shirt background thing, looking pretty good.
Yeah, with that little sort of orange panel there, I thought that was pretty cool. That was completely
That's
and
right.
absolutely planned.
You
So
specifically moved to another room now specifically with the orange behind you. Sure.
yes,
We'll go with that, Bruce.
it's
We'll
what we
go
call
with that.
it's what we call serendipitous.
There we go.
A happy
And now
coincidence.
I'm very large on the screen, so I feel a bit weird now. Okay, that's better. Now we're on reasonably the same level. I didn't tell you this, but I was going to tell you. Rowan and his brother are doing super well. They have an accounting firm and so forth that they
Okay.
get going and so forth. And I think it was a few days ago actually. Um, you know, we caught up on the phone. Very, very cool. He's a friend, which you'll know about. A friend that we haven't spoken for the best part of a year, I think. And we
Yeah,
catch
I've
up and
yeah,
it's like immediately, like it's as if we have spoken to each other yesterday kind of thing. It's a really good
correct.
friendship. It really, really is. And we were talking about how his company basically got hold of a bunch of people in the entertainment industry. One of them, and I swear, and I know I've searched it somewhere. He's the drummer, and I do know him, and I can't remember his name now. He's been on the recent concert tour with Ed Sheeran, and he's played with Elton John. He's a session musician,
Right.
but he has played, with some like really big artists, and I cannot remember his name right now.
Okay.
I don't know if that rings any bell for you. Um,
It doesn't. There's so many of those guys out there. Look, if I heard the name, I
uh,
might recognize him.
no, you will know this guy, Ed Sheeran drummer. I know him, so if I do, then um, Mark
I didn't.
Pusey is
Excuse
his
me.
name. Mark Pusey, Pusey. He's played for Elton John, Tom Jones, Andrew Bocelli, and Ed Sheeran. He's been on the cover of a bunch of magazines.
Wow.
He's pretty big in drumming. I actually know this guy.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know the name, and I know about a
Well,
lot of the hired guns guys, but that one doesn't ring a bell. I'm afraid.
no, well, Mark Pusey's big. He's a big session drummer. And like I say, yeah, and he plays with a whole bunch of really big, big artists and so forth. I thought you might know him, but that's fine. Anyways,
So he's
so he's one of Rowan's clients.
nice.
Um,
That's cool.
yeah, and they sit down once in a while and chat about, like the last tour Mark Pusey was on was with Ed Sheeran. And they were
Right.
having a chat about how they actually had a concert. It was like nearly 100,000 people. And he was just I'm having a chat about like how it is to play to so many people. Yeah, I mean, that would be fascinating conversations, man. Really would be.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
yeah. So, anyways, I found that was pretty awesome.
That's
Mark
cool.
Mark Pusey, yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you're next on YouTube, have a look for a Mark Pusey.
Oh, check it out.
He's serious talent.
Pusey.
SEY,
Okay.
Pusey.
All right. Cool.
Um, yeah. No, he's um. I just want to pull up something, and then we're going to jump into our topic, obviously. But us in music. Um, I just want to find. Um, Here we go. Mark Pusey. He's from the UK. Okay, this is a bunch of things that he's played for. He's played for Ed Sheeran, Tom Jones, Ollie Murs, who's from the UK, Sarah Brightman, you might know, Ronan Keating, another good old, UK artist. I don't know if this is something to be proud of, but he played for Hilary Duff. Il Divo, he's played for Ben Taylor, if you know who he is. But the majority of what he does is session music, basically.
Right.
That's his bread and butter. And then he'll get asked, by specific bands and artists to play for them once in a while. So, anyways,
very cool.
That was pretty cool. Anyways, just wanted to bring in a bit of music in the beginning. So cool. Today, having a light one, and I know that recently we've been not keeping up the track every Wednesday, every week. Oh, you got a cat bum on your side there.
It's actually a really large horse of a dog.
Is that a dog?
Just come and lay down. Yeah, that was a dog.
Oh, okay. So we haven't been updating every week. I think the main reason is just because of work, and then you had gigs, and it just hasn't worked out. But I think we're getting back on track again. Anyways, so I had this question, and it has popped up, I think, in our conversations once in a while about certain countries having beautiful people there, and the major focus was on the woman there.
Yes.
But my question really was as to how do certain countries have more beautiful people / more beautiful women than other countries? It's a serious question for me because, and obviously, it's down to genes and so forth. Obviously those looks come from way back. But the question for me, which was the more serious question, and then, obviously the more lighter thing is which countries are which kind of thing. But it was just more of a question how is it, so for example, somewhere like a Sweden will have a much higher level on the percentage mark for whoever, does the percentage of women in the country to, for example, Australia, New Zealand. And that was the question. And there was a whole bunch I'm jumped on a Reddit, page, just to see what other people's views are.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to show the screen. You won't really be able to read it, but you'll be reading it along with me. So here's a few answers that I thought were interesting. Someone says people in countries that are wealthier may have more time and money to spend on skin and hair care, fashion, and fitness. Correct. And you may find that people who are from one part of the world tend to match your ideas of beauty more than people from other parts of the world. Someone else said, health, access to nutrition, better food, better medical care, better quality of life, less pollution. Then the other person said, which is an interesting one as well, most of it comes down to personal preference. For example, if you like blonde hair, Nordic countries will seem more attractive than southern ones because a higher population of the blonde hair. If you like tan skin, you'll like Latin Americans or Southeast Asians. Some countries have had less issues with obesity than others. And then the higher level of obesity, the less attractive the average person will be perceived. Then there are places where plastic surgery is more common. The person says South Korea will see full of attractive people because plastic surgery is artificially boosting this. Okay. And then they say there's another reason. Attractive people tend to be more successful and gather in big cities. Interesting. So most attractive people of a country will be in one or two cities, and some countries are almost exclusively known by their cities and not their countrysides. That was quite an interesting viewpoint.
I can Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
Just with some of the like the one specific podcast I like to listen to, they're based in Las Vegas, and just the level of attractive people. Let's not even say women or men, just attractive people in a place
yeah,
like Las Vegas is on a different level. But then you can add, Miami to that, and also obviously somewhere like LA. Obviously, LA is you'd say the
absolutely.
entertainment and movie capital of the world.
And that's
But
where everybody goes to.
yeah, but they say a
But
lot of people are in agreement that Miami is easily almost the top city in America for attractive
yeah,
people. I
attractive
think
people.
followed by LA and Las Vegas. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, exactly. But now this whole poll that we looked into now goes to a specific country and not to a
Right.
specific capital.
Yes.
So as much as that person, I think it is and maybe they're saying that that the rating goes on certain cities and not the whole country. Maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So it is a difficult one. But I mean, for example, here, I think New Zealand, unfortunately, I think they were like, I think they made the top 20. I'm not sure. But it just interests me, though, as to cities or not cities, that certain countries will have more beautiful people.
Definitely.
And I still don't get it. I still don't understand the system as to why certain countries have better genes than another country. Why certain countries will have a noticeable high percentage of beautiful people compared to another country on the continent. I don't know what your thoughts are, and and people watching or listening, write down your thoughts in the comments, because I mean it's an interesting one.
Yeah, the one thing I was thinking about is with you when you were on like the dating apps, and you said you were struggling to actually find within the New Zealand area just women that you
Not
found
the area,
attractive.
maybe just around me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can you make yourself more centralized? Sorry, you're just off. There we go. That's a bit better. Sorry, you're just like wonky off the side kind of thing. Sorry, my laptop says that it is on battery, so the cable's out. So I'm just gonna take myself off there, and you can carry on. Yeah, so that's also why I'm saying as well that that New Zealand, for example, might not equate to, for example, Sweden. And I'm still trying to work out how certain countries have that.
Yeah. I'm at a bit of a loss. If we think about Australia, Australia was sort of founded as a country full of people that been sent there. Remember, from as like a Australia was a prison island for a long time before it became a country. So you probably do have got. I don't think anyone in Australia is actually inherently Australian, because they will all have heritage from other countries.
No. What you're saying is that Australia is only made up of immigrants, and that's not true at all.
Well, I mean, from back in the day.
No, because there are people who are actually born in Australia. Yes, people came across, but as if you're saying to me that, for example, that the United States of America is only Mexican people, because because they were immigrants moving across.
Yeah.
And so that basically negates the people who are actually. So I see your point, but it's
just
not.
From
but it's
heritage
flawed.
is from.
It's flawed though, because because definitely there are people who were born in Australia, raised, for example, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that Australia is made up. Every country, therefore, is made up of immigrants. Every country.
That's also
It's
true.
like
Yeah.
here, there's immigrants from China. There's a very strong Pacific, people here. There's people from Thailand. So every country has that. But
That's
there's
also
always
true.
a core amount of people per country that were born there, that were raised there, had kids there, and the genealogy. So, for example, saying here, one of the biggest genealogy is Maori people. They're not, that they're from this country.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
And for example, from Australia, there are the Aboriginal people.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying, but then you can basically say every single country is made up of immigrants. So, and what I'm trying to say is that if you move the immigrants out before people moved in, there had to have been a country with people who were living there, born in there, bred there, raised there, died there.
Yeah.
That is my point.
I see. I saw on the one list that actually mentioned South Africa, because not many of them mention South Africa.
I found one that well, I agree with that being within the top 10.
The one I found, the one I found, we weren't in the top 10.
Well, you see, now this is a difficult one. There's so many of these top 10s, top 20s. And I think for us, it needs to be seen as how many countries seem to pop up in 3 or 4 of these, because there's no like official, site like the UN brings out this, or like Harvard has done like a scientific, thing, and if we can do scientifically, but you know what I'm saying. So we will be going through like, various, but I'm sure, and maybe this is where we can go a bit into the actual, like rating, so to speak. I think across the ones which I've seen, the biggest ones that are on the top 10 are between Europe, South America, and India. India seems to pop up. I've had 2, and India has been number 1 in both of them.
Yes. I'm not surprised. With Europe definitely. Eastern Europe is a big one, especially countries like Ukraine, Croatia, just with regards to the amounts of beautiful women that sort of come out of those countries and are then become high level models, and just with the regards to like Instagram and stuff, blowing up on Instagram, not even really being professional models, but the amounts of women coming out of those Eastern European countries is pretty impressive as well, which is it's quite interesting, because those countries, like you talk about how the richer the country, but when you think about a lot of the Eastern Bloc countries, you don't really consider that those countries are very, very, rich kind of thing. But yet you have these amazingly beautiful women coming out of those countries. Very interesting.
Now, I'm very biased. And I think Africa, to me, obviously, not obviously, well, if you know me, it's an obvious thing. But I just feel that African women, and with the different types of cultures, their backgrounds, you'll see. I found this very interesting report that that was on that was I'm on our topic now. I hope I haven't lost it. Hold on, bud. Damn it, I think I've lost it. I can't find it. Damn it. Anyways, it was based on on a report, and the top, I think in like, top 4 or 5 were all African countries. So on what that last person was saying, yes, maybe it's down to the eye of the beholder. I don't know.
Yeah, but look, beauty is such a subjective thing. Especially, I would say maybe more of a broader subjective thing for men, where men have so many different types of tastes.
Yeah.
We like you said. I mean, you biased towards more towards women from Africa, black women, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's your thing. I've also definitely met black women that are very, very attractive, but then there's so many. I personally, like you, like if someone was to ask me like what's my type, I don't really have a type. It's not like, okay, blonde, redhead, black girl, Latino, whatever. I don't have a type, but there's just, for me, she'll have that X factor, and she'll be attractive to me, kind of thing.
Well, exactly.
And I have things that I find beautiful about women, and I have things that I find unattractive about women.
Sure, women, and that's everybody.
That's the thing.
But then going back to these, all these lists, there are common ones running throughout.
Oh yes.
So I hear you on that one. Yeah, I think it's the eye of the beholder. But if you ask whoever comes up with these, top 10s or top 20s of the various things around the world, it seems to be like there's certain countries that just, even if, for example, I'm I find Africa, African woman like super beautiful. I can also say, you know what, it makes, it's true within the Sweden, Norway, Denmark, for example. I'm trying to pull up a video. That damn it, I can't find it now. It's on my list of things. You carry on talking. I really want to find this one. And here we go. This is now this was interesting. Okay. It's basically based on this, and an organization decided to see how artificial intelligence defines beautiful women in the world.
That would be interesting.
And it did a whole analysis of 100 countries. Now, this is coming up with the AI. This is coming up that the 7 countries with the most. This is so weird. Hold on. 7 countries basically in it are Africans. And there was a little, like a 2-minute video that I thought would be quite fun to watch.
And let's get to some AI news. An organization decided to see how artificial intelligence defines beautiful women in the world in an analysis of 100 countries. The 7 countries with the most revealing clothes are African. VOA's Sajia Nambi has the story.
Beauty is a dominant topic in different cultures, each with their own ways to define and characterize it. Inspired by the diversity of how beauty is perceived differently across cultures, StyleSeat decided to showcase beautiful women worldwide. The solution was to use Midjourney, an artificial intelligence image generator free from their biases.
We're not comparing AI's perception of beauty to human perceptions of beauty. This project was about understanding whether AI could replicate the diverse patterns of beauty as interpreted by humans worldwide.
In an analysis of 100 countries around the world, the 7 countries with the most revealing.
I love how it says revealing clothing. It's like, I don't think the English was great there, but it was just
I'm like revealing clothing.
I didn't get the revealing clothing part. It was a bit weird and random English used in there, but it was just interesting. And again, there would be multiple people doing multiple AI, blah, 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 blah. It just shows that it would be that the people who, who do their own, view and voting on, on the top 10 most, countries with the most beautiful woman. It seems that the more you look at certain things, that the different people who have done these, and I was saying to Bruce earlier that there's not a specific, results, from somewhere profound, like a Harvard, for example. There's nothing specific. So that's why on every report, they don't line up with the other person kind of thing. And even like with this one, where it use AI, this AI came up with 7 countries being from Africa. And I'm sure if someone else did an AI based one, it would probably come up with a whole pile of other countries.
Yeah.
So really, I don't think people actually know what the hell's going on.
No. No,
if you love someone and you find them attractive, well, that's all you need, basically.
I find I think what I find interesting is that, most of the time, I think if we come down to just, if we look at the subject of actual just facial symmetry, obviously a facial symmetry is always attractive. If you, like, for me as a photographer, if I find something that's very symmetrical, that brings me pleasure as a photographer to take a symmetrical photo. But and most of the time, sort of a quote unquote attractive face will have a certain amount of sort of equal symmetry between left and right.
What do you mean by symmetry?
Just basically everything's just nicely in line, and is coming down to like the level of the earlobes. The earlobes are the same size or whatever, and there's just that, the face just sort of has that. Both sides of the face are fairly equal, although we do have differences. We all have differences in the different sides of our bodies and that. But I think the more symmetry is involved, the more then it is found a little bit more attractive. However, when you get people and you get, say, sometimes an interesting look, a model, like a lot of these female models have a very interesting look, and there's something asymmetrical about their face. Something's not quite lining up. They're still beautiful and attractive, but there's something that's slightly different about one side of them that actually gives them a more interesting look than your average,
model,
everyday beautiful woman, if you like, which I found is also
a good
very
example.
interesting.
Well, from what you're saying, though, I think it's probably linked more towards the model world, is what I think is what you start.
Possibly, yes.
Because why I bring that up is that the ones who are slightly different to the normal model look, for example, of a good example is Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yes, definitely.
She has a very distinct look. One of the I can't work it out, but I think it's like there's something with her eye spacing or something to do with the eyes that have made her very distinct. She comes across as very beautiful, and she has something about her that makes her a little bit different to your normal run-of-the-mill, beautiful woman kind of thing.
Yeah, to me, I don't know if you'll agree with this. If I look at her, I get the impression that her eyes are a little bit further apart than most people.
Yes,
I think that might be it.
I'll pull up a picture, if people like know her or don't know her. But I mean, I'll show you that like a very, it is, and this is a very good example of her. of what I was talking about. Sorry, I've got multiple tabs open, so don't mind me. I'm just going to, for people who don't know Anatella Joy, I'm just going to show it to you there. That will give you the example. And yes, if you see the difference between the right eye and the left eye.
It almost seems like her left eye is actually further away. So there's that asymmetry that's happening in her face.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got to do with her left eye. I'll have to look at that a little bit closer.
Yeah, sure you would, buddy.
Well, it's a good excuse to watch the Queen's Gambit again.
Good movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very, very good.
But then, if you think about eye placement now, if you think about someone like Will Ferrell,
okay,
his eyes are so.
You reckon? I've never.
His eyes are so close together. That's what gives him his distinctive look.
I didn't even know that. So,
his eyes are much closer together than normal, and that's.
But I'm sure he's doing well, not because of his eyes.
No, he's not. I'm just making the comparison over to someone, like a guy or whatever. But you don't see a lot of that, which is very interesting. Plus, the dude's hysterically funny, so he's got that.
Yeah, I think that's what makes him big, not because his eyes are close together. That I can almost guarantee you, most people are going, "What?" If you say so.
Yeah.
Go.
I've definitely heard people say I don't like if they look at a guy or whatever, it's like, his eyes are too close.
I've never heard that in my 48 years of existence.
I've heard it. I've heard that.
Yeah, you've got some dodgy people then in your friendship circle. You should kick them out.
No, man. I've heard it on movies and series and stuff.
Oh, sure you have, Bruce.
Yes,
in series and movies. Yeah, God, I've almost died. But did you know about Will Ferrell's eyes? I don't think so. Anyways, we have a shortened amount of time left over, so why don't we have a bit of fun and look into some of the, top 10 or top 15 kind of thing, as to whoever came up with the top 10 or top 15 kind of thing. I'm going to jump into one article. And again, all of these come from various news, news resource. What's the word I'm looking for?
Resources.
News. No, it's another word. But anyways, I'm going to give you this, and this is now from a website called Brightside. So it sounds very very reputable. I'm just going to give you, and you'll see, I think we'll find that in like everything which we're going to go through, the three major continents will be South America, Europe, and possibly Africa, but probably China or Japan. I'm just going on this one. I actually haven't looked at mine. I'm just going to basically read them out as I go. So so this is now this website's view. Okay. Top 20, you're looking, and this is now basically going from 20 down to 1, obviously. So we've got the Netherlands, Austria, Belarus. So this is all Europe. Jamaica comes in at 17. Australia, for some reason, is 16. I disagree, but it's not my number 15 is Brazil. So again, we're looking South America. Poland is there. Japan, I was right. That's 13. Romania, another European. Nepal comes in at 11. USA supposedly is number 10. Okay. Colombia, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Indonesia is 8. Puerto Rico, South American country. Thailand, in that section that I was talking about. Vietnam, South Africa is number 4 on this list. Which I have to say, South African women are absolutely beautiful, so it doesn't surprise me. Mexico, another South American. Philippines, and number 1 in this view is Venezuela. South America actually gets a large portion of this website's votes.
Yeah, it's very. It's. I always find. What's interesting about a lot of the South American countries. The women are much curvier. That's the biggest. That's the big thing. They're not. You look at a girl from, like, Ukraine, Croatia, whatever. Incredibly slender, whatever. But then you get the South American women that have got. They're much more of that sort of hourglass figure, which is also super sexy, and that, just find that very
Well,
interesting.
to certain people again.
Yeah, like we said, it's
not-
flipping subjective.
But now this is going by people's looks, not body shapes. Okay.
Oh, we're talking.
You
So facial.
Well, this is just saying the most beautiful one in general. It doesn't have to be body shapes.
Right. Okay.
Because this doesn't talk about body shapes. It's just okay. As time goes, do you have any lists that you want to go through? Otherwise, I'll keep on going. Really?
No, not really.
I thought you would have.
Sorry, man, I don't.
How does that work? So we're doing a topic on the top 10 or the top 20, and you don't have a list. Come on, man. That's disappointing.
I'm sorry.
You should be. That is so weird, Bruce. Okay, well then I'm going to get us going. This one has, it doesn't give like a top 10 or top 20, but this is now, this website is now just, just going just in general. So it doesn't give a, like, 22 number one, but this comes up with like Turkey, Brazil. This is interesting. This is bringing in France, for example. Russia, absolutely. Italy, India, Ukraine, Venezuela, the UK. Yeah. Oh, interesting. The US.
There's some beautiful women in the UK.
This now brings up Afghanistan of all places, which probably makes sense. Colombia, Argentina, and so it goes through South America and Europe. I think from all of these ones, it pops up, excuse me, as South American / European.
Yeah.
/ all the little islands, like the Philippines or Thailand and so forth.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
There are beautiful people everywhere, I think. It's just, and I think just more of these countries, maybe because of just the first world countries just sort of stand out a little bit more, because that's where they're much more prominent when it comes to, more sort of successful people. But I mean, you can go to, the poorest countries on earth and you can still find, aesthetically attractive people. It's not,
it just blows my mind that, like, in all of these lists, there's no mention of any country in Africa. And I think this is now where we're going as a whole. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But it just feels that they've skipped over, they've skipped over a whole continent as if it's like not even there, which to me comes across as either people don't know much about Africa, or they like see Africa as whatever viewpoint they give Africa as a continent, and it just seems that it's just not even part of a conversation. And I'm sure everybody can go and look, at other polls. There's multitude of them all over the internet. But if there's a few which I've been looking through and so forth, top 20, South Africa got it once, but South Africa, it's African, but it's not African in the sense of like Kenya, Ethiopia. Some of the women in Kenya, Sudan, for example, Ethiopia, some of the most beautiful women on the planet, and for some reason, somehow, the whole continent has just been missed. And I think part of it is, as we've been saying, is it's in the eye of the beholders.
Yeah,
because I don't think that they can actually be a set scientifically proven, like view of which countries are the more beautiful. I do agree that in certain countries, you may not, for the person in the eye of the beholder, may not find them as attractive as another country. But, as you say, each country, different people, different views, different attractions.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, beauty is the same. I would say our beauty preferences are probably very similar to, art preferences or music preferences or anything to do with, anything to do with, no, sorry, no, it's not going to work.
It's all right.
It's because, because we're all different and we all, I mean, you and I can listen to the same song, and you and I have very differing opinions on what we think is good music.
And like when we have chat about women and stuff, and you were like, wow, and I'm like, okay, I mean, for you, she's most beautiful, and me, I'm like, okay, she's pretty, but as you say, it's very specific for each specific person.
Yeah, correct. So you really, you can't go on any of these polls, but they will keep.
But
coming.
there are some. But I do, even though we say this, I do agree with a lot of that. Certain countries seem to have more beautiful people, supposedly. Yes. So I can agree. I can understand and see, some clarity in that. At the same time, I agree with you. It's like, at the end of the day, you're attracted to who you are attracted to. Because I think it's wrong to be able to say, all right, people from this country are pretty girls, but people from other countries, well, you're not. And it's like,
No, you can't say that. No, because I mean, there are probably so many women in, like, if you just take small town America, there are probably still a whole bunch of women that are probably Instagram level, quote unquote, hot, if you like, that you'll never know about, or the same thing in maybe some, backwater town in the outback of Australia. There's maybe, a couple of girls there that you'd think, flipping hell, put them on a runway and they'd be great. But, you won't ever know about them. So I don't know.
And there we go. That was our topic.
But South Africa, I've got to agree. South Africa does have a lot of amazingly. There's a reason they wrote a song called "Everybody Loves South African Girls." I mean, come on, there's a song.
Never heard.
I don't know, but it was
exactly.
A while back.
So it's really not a reputable song at all. But okay, it was probably written from the point of a South African person.
Oh yeah, it's a South African song.
So so it doesn't really have any gravitas. If it was written by someone outside the country, maybe.
And if we're talking cities in South Africa, Pretoria, man, there's something about those Pretoria girls. Jeez.
If you say so.
I think it's an Afrikaans thing.
No. You know what? Let's just leave it there. I have other views, but I'll talk about it after this podcast is finished. It's a lot safer.
Oh.
Right. Finish us off, Bruce.
Cool. Beauty is...
this is where you say like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, we've already gone. Unless you have some beautiful
no
moments, then just let us get out of here.
Okay, cool. This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name has been Bruce, and his name has been Gareth. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and do all that stuff. And let us know which country you think where the most beautiful people are.
What you feel in your view,
Yes, because it's
good.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you for watching and listening to our
have a good
loyal few people. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.
Cool. Bye.